I'm sure you've heard this a million times about your football background, but legitimately, what a part of that skill set and time playing that sport will help you as a pro basketball player?
Um, I think you, of course, see it in the aggressiveness, and the way how I embrace contact and, bring contact on a basketball floor. That I think directly comes over from the football field. And then the vision, I think, is the biggest one, honestly, from being a safety, reading eyes, reading body language, see what guys are turning to where they're going to make a pass or, make a certain move. And then quarterback wise, on offense, just reading defenses, seeing different windows to throw the ball in. And I know I have the ability to fit it in those tight windows. So I do think, those are the two biggest things that, go directly from the football field, to the basketball court.
Jared Greenberg, when you're ready.
Thanks, man. Jalen, appreciate you doing this. We obviously know so much and heard so much about your intangibles, your leadership, your ability to be that quarterback on the court. But just from a pure skill and basketball standpoint, how much better do you think you can get over the next several years?
Sky's the limit, honestly. I haven't, it's funny, I haven't been a full-time basketball player yet. I've always had to split the time between football and during football season, I never touched the basketball. For that 5 months while I was locked in on football, all the basketballs were put up in the closet and weren't touched until I was done. So, I think I had honestly the most improvement to make out of anybody in this draft. So, couple that with, the work ethic that I know I carry and, honestly, it's scary to think about how good I can become.
Thank you. Good luck, man.
Thank you.
Zach Braziller, when you're ready.
Hey, Jalen. Wanted to kind of just ask you about this draft class, the top of it. People think there are 4 or 5 all-stars in the top 6 or so, and there's even been maybe some talk of this could rival the 2003 class that had LeBron, Bosh, Melo, Dwayne Wade. What are your thoughts on just how good the top of this class is?
For as good as the top is, the rest of it is amazing as well. And I've got the pleasure to play with the top guys. It's funny, you look at the top 5 and, it's me, Jalen, Cade, Scotty, Evan, all guys who I played with on USA Basketball. And for as great as talent they are, they're even better people. I think that's what makes it so special is, our talent on the floor speaks for itself, but, off the floor and in locker rooms, we're guys who lead, and guys who you want in your locker room. So, just a special class, better people. And, I couldn't be, more excited to go in and get this process started, with these guys and, go through it with them. So.
Jalen, the 2003 class obviously is looked at now, with phenomenon, just such great players. Do you hope that maybe one day people can look back at the top of this class in the same way?
Most definitely, and I think it has, real potential to be exactly like that, just because we all hard workers, all guys who are going to come and make an impact. I can't speak highly enough about the guys at the top, to be honest. So, yeah, I think, we definitely have a chance to, rival that 2003 class that was so legendary. So
great. Thank you.
Yep.
Next question's from Chris Fedor.
Hey, Jalen, thanks for doing this, man. Really appreciate it. If you go back in time and think about that decision to choose basketball over football, how difficult was that decision? And now thinking back on it, what goes through your mind?
It was the hardest week of my life, honestly. It was something that I knew I had, to talk to my dad about, and I wasn't afraid of talking to him about it. I was afraid of, actually having that conversation and, possibly coming to terms that, it might be it for football. But I think, talking to my dad about it is the only person that I'd want to have the conversation with. And, we broke it down, the pros and cons and, what it would look like a couple years down the line. And, we knew that this year was a real and, a high possibility. I'll be sitting in this spot, and with these opportunities. So it was hard to let go just because I love it so much. I've been playing it my entire life. And, it's, again, my home away from home. I go to the basketball court, to just get my mind off of things. That's where I'm comfortable. But it's the same goes for the football field. So it was really hard week. But looking back on it, I had no regrets on it at all.
Thank you. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Kevin O'Connor, when you're ready.
Hey, Jalen, congrats on this week, and hope you embrace it all, enjoy it all. I'm wondering, you mentioned earlier that you feel like you have a lot of ways to improve as a player at the top of this draft. I'm wondering, like, what are the areas that you feel like that you can improve on most? And like in terms of at-rim finishing, I'm curious specifically about that because a lot of the great guards are so crafty around the rim, and you've shown flashes there. Is there things that you've done in your game to enhance your ability to finish inside during this break?
Definitely. I think anybody and everybody, the best players in the league, going into off seasons or in the season, I mean, there's always room to improve in anything. From the best shooters, can always get better, the best ball handlers, best finishers. So I think just overall, looking to really become a perfectionist, in all the areas I feel like I'm already really good at. I don't feel like there's a true weakness, you can look at my game and really exploit. So I think just looking to, kind of perfect all those things and, get them to a, elite level, top-notch level in this league that I'm going into is my focus. And as far as finishing around the rim, I think, I've always had a good floater, but again, sharpening that up and getting to an elite level. It's coming off of ball screens and the amount of spacing that's in the game right now. And, the way that everyone defends ball screens with the drop coverage, you get your floaters to look like lobs and the lobs to look like floaters. And, if you got it money, I mean, it's honestly an easy shot, in simple 2 points. And it's something that's really hard to guard. So, I think really getting that, to a really elite level will open up, getting to the basket and finishing at the rim more. So that's what I'm focusing on there.
You mentioned you're making your lobs look like floaters. Trae Young is one of the guys who's better at that than anybody. Like we saw that all throughout their playoff run. How is that something like that you practice?
Really just getting reps in. It kind of starts with you have to have an elite floater for them to respect it. To even play your floater, instead of just playing the lob. And so again, that's the part I'm working on. And then, watching Trae Young, that's what I was going to mention, and the technique that he does it, and where every time it's the same way. And, you never know if, he's going for the lob or for the floater. And you kind of just have to guess and hope you guess right, and oftentimes, you don't. And, I think that's definitely what opened things up for, Capella with him. And then, why he had a ton of big games.
Stephen Lounge, when you're ready.
Hey, Jalen. This is Stephen Lung from Sportsnet in Toronto. I just wanted to know, like, have you had any conversations with the Raptors, and also like what do you know about the Raptors like player development program? Like they have a good reputation around the league. I just want to know, like, what you know about that.
The player development program is, off the charts. You see guys who come into their G League team, and I think the best part about it is that it's really close. You don't have to go across the country to a different city, and then be a part of that program. It's right there. So they're always hands-on with you. And those guys develop and they get good. Siakam, Boucher, Fred VanVleet. They have a lot of guys who came up from there. So the player development is, is great over there, the way that they're handling it. So, yeah.
Next question's for Jace Frederick.
Hey, Jalen, a lot of people here in Minnesota have had you pegged for this moment since you were in like 4th or 5th grade. When did you start thinking that this was a realistic possibility for you?
My mind has never really been NBA draft, like all this to get to the NBA draft. Like, of course, it's the end goal. It's a dream, but, I think I've taken it, step by step and, really got to be in the moment of AAU, of high school basketball, college basketball. And then now this step, now where I've gotten to take these 3 months to really just become better, and really improving. I've taken strides. But I think just taking it step by step and, being present, and all those moments that led up to this, is what's made that, even sweeter, being in this position. So, really just, excited. Couldn't be more excited.
What do you think has played the biggest role in you getting here?
My family, my circle around me. It takes a village to raise a child, and the group that I have around me have kept me humbled. They kept me focused, and then honestly, they just help take my mind off it. It can get hard, especially now. You're going into basketball, becoming something you do for fun. And it still is fun, but it's a job as well. And done a great job keep my mind off it, keep me laughing, smiling, and just being my rock. So,
thanks, Jalen.
Yep.
Next question's from Seb Dimitru.
Hi, Jalen. Thanks for taking the time. I'm wondering, obviously, the NBA and not just playing there, but also everything that comes with it is a different animal when it comes to the requirements physically and also mentally. How are you preparing yourself physically and mentally for this next big step?
Physically just being in the weight room, improving my flexibility, really just becoming better in all those aspects, getting my shoulders and chest right. Cause I mean, you've seen the league now, people are taking bumps and giving bumps, and the better you can take and give them, the easier it makes things out there on the floor. So, really trying to improve there. And then from the mental side, again, I think it all stems from my inner circle that I have in my family. Even ones that aren't family, but, they hold that title with me. Just keeping me mentally, strong, mentally calm, and humble. So I can't thank that group enough, honestly, for how easy, or as easy as possible they made this transition.
Thanks, man. Good luck.
Thank you.
Jonathan Fagan, when you're ready.
Thank you. You mentioned earlier the ways that you anticipate improving and said the sky is the limit. If teams are to ask you about whether you should be taken with the first couple picks, even earlier than many are forecasting, what would you tell them? What advice would you give them? And if I may ask, have you had conversations or met with or worked out for the Rockets?
I mean, as far as where I go, that's not something that I'm really too worried about. I know I'll thrive in, whatever system, whatever city I end up in, and, wherever do I end up, that's, God's plan and, was meant to be. But I will say the ones that, do pass up on me and say, the prospect, it'll come back, and it'll be to their detriment, honestly, because you can look at my track record and, what I've done and where I've been. And, it's always win at the high level, at the highest level. And then my play has been at the highest level. So, I think as far as that goes, if somebody else makes a decision, that's not me, that's their opinion. And, I can never be angry at them for that. But, I don't forget those kind of things. That's just kind of competitor I am.
And have you had conversations with the Rockets or worked out for the Rockets?
My team has handled that, and I haven't. That's something that I don't really have to be too focused on right now. And I'm kind of focused on being present in New York and getting ready for Thursday.
Thank you.
Aaron Rose, when you're ready.
Hey, Jalen. I'm wondering if you watch tape or look up to guys like Kyle Lowry and Fred VanVleet. Your winning qualities have been compared to theirs.
Yeah, as far as Kyle Lowry goes, I mean, just a guy who does any and everything, that's needed for a win. I think one little thing, not even a little thing, but, just the way he competes and plays defense and his effort on the floor is, it's talked about as a skill now that players have, but honestly, that should just be in everybody, that should just be in every player. And I think that's the mindset, that I carry, that he carries, and something that is, needed in a winning locker room.